Vamp. Hello, this is Elizabeth Sullivan. Well, actually, this is my paper. What I'm doing today is a watercolor sketch for a larger painting that I'm gonna do later. This painting, the final painting will be in acrylic, but we're just gonna try it out in watercolor. Oh, my water's kind of dirty, don't really care. First, I'm just gonna put water all over the page, a very small piece of paper. Okay. Then I'm gonna dabble some paint on it, and we'll see what happens here. I like Prussian blue. What I want to happen is I want that paint to just flow around on the water. Just kind of flow wherever it feels like flowing. I like burnt sienna. Now this is tricky because burnt sienna is nearly an opposite color to Prussian blue. That doesn't look like burnt sienna, that looks like burnt umber. So if you get the two, there's the burnt sienna. If you get two opposite colors together, you're gonna wind up with mud. But we're trying it anyway. Just gonna put some color on in various places. Now I can't think if I want 3 colors or 2. I'm putting a little more Prussian blue on. Just let it flow wherever it flows. I could put a green in there. It's a phthalo green. It flows great. Look at that. It flows better than the other colors. Now I know some of these colors are going to get all mushed around. Let me see if I can get a better shot here of colors getting mushed around. Now I see I have missed a few places that aren't wet enough. And needs a little more of the burnt sienna. The burnt sienna is actually an orange. I mean, yeah, it's brown, but if you're gonna look at a color wheel, it's kind of an orangish brown. The paper curled because of the wetness. Let us soak up some of that excess. There we go. I wish it would lay flat. It would lay flat if I'd have put water on the other side. I'm gonna get some salt. Hey, why not? If I can find the salt. Hey. There it is. I'm going to sprinkle a little salt on it, which will further mush the colors together and make little stars all over it. The salt soaks up the water in the watercolor. And if you put salt on something like this, it'll make a pattern. Where it has soaked it up. So I'm going to just let that salt dry on there, and then after it dries, I'll flick all the salt off the painting. You get different patterns on it depending on how wet your paper and paint is when you put the salt on. So after you've done it a number of times, you can calculate what it's going to look like. I've used this technique to do snow in a painting. It comes out great. You know, you have a snow at night, you know, you have a dark background and you just sprinkle that salt on it and it makes snow. You can see right in here, some pattern is coming out. I'm going to let the camera roll on fast forward time lapse so you can see what the salt is doing. Yeah. I've been doing some little pencil sketches of what I want to do on this little piece of paper with this background. And I wanted to show you, not my design, but what it looks like with the salt. Now it's dry. It's been drying for 24 hours and you need to brush the salt off of it. If you paint over the salt, it'll absorb the color. It'll absorb the watercolor. So you need to get the salt off, and you just brush it with your hand, with a brush. And there's what it looks like. That's the result of the background. Kind of looks underwater, doesn't it? Okay, maybe. You can see where I picked it up, those little things right there. I did a drawing on here of guitars, kind of avant-garde, whatever. And I'm going to do it with watercolor pens. And I hope this works. What I used to do the drawing is a watercolor pencil. I would have used black, but I couldn't find my black one. So it's in burnt sienna, which is okay. Now I'm looking for burnt sienna. This looks kind of like it. All right. It's not my usual. So I'm going to use watercolor pens to fill in some of the spaces, and then I'll use water to smooth them out. All right. Well. So here's the final painting. I decided to leave it at this. I think I will change the design slightly when I do the big painting, and it, you know, put more on this bottom guitar. But otherwise, I like it as a design. Let's see how it looks this way. It could go that way. It could go that way. It could go that way. It's a design, you see, but when you look at it, you know it's guitars. I don't know, I kind of like it that way. I think I'll go with the, oh yeah. Yeah, that's the way I originally wanted it, so, or the way I originally painted it. We'll stick with that. I'll sign it, and there's a little painting. Don't forget to leave me a like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.